What's up, you guys? I am back after 3 months, I think, with a brand new video. I know it's been a while. You might notice I have a new camera, so that's fun. We're finally filming with a new camera that I bought, and hopefully there's no technical issues with it. We'll find out in the editing stages. But I am back and I'm doing a little bit of a dance haul video. So if you don't know who I am, my name is Ishi, and on this channel I talk about something that I love very, very much, which is luxury fashion, specifically men's luxury fashion. So if that's something that you're interested in, then like, subscribe, stay here for the content that is uploaded whenever I feel like it. Item number one is going to be these Versace track pants. Right, super quick. So I am in Honolulu. I've been taking private breaking lessons with a breakdance coach, and I have fallen truly in love with it. So my goal recently has been to find luxury clothing that fabrication-wise is really good for dance, and price point-wise also. Like, I don't want to buy something that's incredibly expensive and then just like tear it up on the dance floor. So that being said, I have really embraced pre-loved luxury. If you're not familiar with that, it's essentially secondhand luxury. You can buy these things from places like Grailed, The Real, Vestiaire Collective. You know, right now I'm in my like rent-paying adults era, and this is very new for me. The thing with luxury clothing is, like, you can't just go into the store. Even like 3 months from now, they're gonna have a completely different selection of things in the store. So it's like, if you love something from a season and you weren't, for whatever reason, able to get it, definitely taking a look at pre-loved is a really good option. These pants from Versace are a nylon, like synthetic sort of material, and I was really pleasantly surprised when I got them in the mail, because you can see that there's this like La Greca monogram. It's a black on black, so it's like super subdued. Although it's very loud in the pattern, it's still a bit quiet. And then you have this big like italicized La Greca motif on the side of the leg, and it's actually mirrored on both sides. So on the right side, you have the La Greca and then sort of like this line going down, and then on the left side you start with the line going down and then it goes into the La Greca as it gets towards the ankles. They are a sort of like straight-legged fit, which is great because for breaking you really want something that's loose, baggy, and breathable. And also this slippery synthetic material is great for being on the floor and sliding around. You don't really want something that's too dense or thick. I know there are guys that will break in like denim, but that's just asking for a sweat storm down there, and I don't think that I could deal with that personally. If you sweat in these, the sweat won't soak into the garment, so it'll just like sort of like stay on your body, if that makes sense. But it's honestly better than getting like, you know, if you've ever like danced in a t-shirt that's, you know, like 100% cotton, and then it gets all nasty and like heavy because you're sweating in it. That's why I really prefer to dance in dry fit shirts or like some sort of synthetic material top. And I don't have problems with these when I'm dancing. I definitely sweat, but I don't feel, you know, I don't feel anything. So these pants I think retailed for $1,000. So I scooped these up on Vestiaire Collective for $200. If you go on Farfetch, they're selling for I think about $450 to $500, which is 50% off of the original price. Obviously, a third-party individual seller has to compete with those prices, because if they're selling it for anything near $500, I'm just going to buy it from Farfetch for, you know, peace of mind. So this was actually my first time purchasing from Vestiaire Collective. All of my other pre-loved items I had purchased through The Real, but it was a really smooth process actually. And what I really like about Vestiaire Collective is that when you purchase it, you pay an extra $15 and it goes towards the authentication of that item. But I feel like that's a much more sustainable system as opposed to The Real, where they authenticate every item that comes into the marketplace. On Vestiaire Collective, they only authenticate the items that are sold. So I think there's less volume that they have to go through. And it's also not mandatory. It's mandatory on certain items, but usually you can opt out or opt in. Of course, I always opt in because extra peace of mind. But even beyond that, something that Versace has done in recent years is they have included this RFID tag where you can actually put your phone up to it, put in some information on the Versace website, and it will authenticate the item for you. So I got these brand new, completely unused. They were in spotless condition when I got them, and they are a size 46, which is an American small. All right, the next item, which was also purchased from Vestiaire Collective, as I had a really good experience with the Versace pants, are gonna be a pair of shoes. Sneakers are super important when it comes to breaking in terms of fashion. Breaking and fashion are like this. They're like best friends, okay? So you need to have a really nice pair of sneakers. I got these shoes from Balenciaga. A lot of you might be like, what the hell are those? These were kind of a flop for Balenciaga. These are the Balenciaga Phantom shoes. They are the Phantom runners, whatever they're called. They're basically like Asics style mesh shoes in this sort of like runner silhouette, and I got them in the faded gray, like the gray wash, which is their pre-distressed colorway of the shoe. So this shoe actually came out, I think, last year, but I don't think that they're going to be bringing it into the newer seasons, because even if you go on the Balenciaga website itself, all colorways for this shoe are marked down like 30%. So it didn't really seem like this shoe sold very well, and that kind of makes sense because this shoe was definitely, I feel like, the quietest of all Balenciaga shoes. Balenciaga shoes tend to be a little bit more identifiable, where it's like, I know that that's the Speed Runner, I know that's a 3XL, I know that's a Triple S. These ones, though, they're pretty quiet. These are one of the most quiet things I have ever purchased. There's very minimal branding. The only thing, there's like a Balenciaga here on the toe and then on the side. I'll show you in the close-ups, but yeah, I mean, so basically for breaking, the shoes are super important. I just really wanted something that was athletic, that sort of paid homage to that sports shoe that is really common in breaking. But of course, you know, had that little bit of like designer flair. And so these are in the washed gray colorway. They are the Balenciaga Phantom trainers. And so you can see that they're basically, the entire upper is made out of this like mesh sponge material. But the parts where you see this like embossing detail, those parts are actually mesh that's on top of like some sort of plastic, because they're very tough. Like, do you hear that? Like, it almost feels like paper mache. So that is, I guess, what sort of holds the shape a bit, but you don't really feel that when you put your foot in. You just mostly feel like the sponginess. So, like, you know, this part is super spongy, the tongue is super spongy, the laces are super spongy and stretchy. I really liked the sort of like contrast of this metallic gray with the more like warmer gray, the brownish grays, the darker grays, the gradient of that washed effect. I do think that these are their best in natural lighting. In more fluorescent settings, they're really gonna sort of just get washed out and all the colors are gonna blur together. So in natural lighting, I really think that these, you can see like the good contrast of the colors. My one thing about these for dance, if you are a dancer and you're looking for like designer shoes that you can like practice in or perform in, the heel on this is quite clunky, and also the sole is plastic, which I did not know. I thought it was going to be rubber because you can see there's two tones. So you have this bottom portion right here, which is like this, which is like the part that actually touches the floor, and then you have the midsole, which is the part that, you know, just gives it like the silhouette. All of that is plastic. I thought that this part on the bottom was gonna at least be rubber, but all of it is plastic, which means it is not as bendy or flexible as a rubber sole, which for dancing can be difficult because you want to be able to have flexibility with your foot. And also the chunkiness of the shoe, it just makes it a little difficult to land in certain positions, and also like times where I want to like catch my foot maybe on like the side of the shoe here, instead of like stopping because of the friction of the rubber, I'll find myself like sliding, which is not necessarily like safe, especially if I'm learning a move. So these shoes, and moving forward in the future, I feel like I would reserve for like my performance shoes. So like let's say I'm going into a battle and I want to have like a really cool fresh fit, I would definitely throw these on, because when you're in a battle, you're more so doing things that you've mastered, things that you're comfortable with. As where when you're practicing, I feel like these are actually quite dangerous for doing certain moves that you're not used to, because you might be expecting to have more friction upon landing, or you might think that you're going to land on your heel in a certain way, but you get caught off guard by all of this. So like if you're filming a dance video, or you're performing or something, then you know, why not? But if you are just practicing, I would say throw these in your rotation every now and then, because you do want to get used to it. You don't want to just wear them only when you battle, because then you're not going to get used to, you know, having to adjust your dance to how the shoe fits. I got these, again, brand new, never worn, and you can tell the shoes like by the sole, like they were completely spotless. I got these for $250 total. That includes shipping and the authentication from Vestiaire Collective. So for that price, I'm not mad at it. I do think it was a little bit of a lesson in terms of like, okay, if I'm gonna buy like a little bit more expensive designer shoes to like dance in the future, definitely consider like their fabrication, their construction, the heel height, things like that. I mean, it sounds basic, but really until you put it on, it's hard to know. So just like a quick comparison, these are the shoes that I typically will dance in, and then these are the Phantoms. So you can see the sole of these, it's one, it's much more even, but two, look at the heel. I mean, there's a lot more heel here compared to here. And then if we do a little bit of like a scrunch test, where I'll just take this and I'm just pushing it in, okay? And you can see how flexible it is. So if I want to go on my tippy toes, which you do a lot for breaking, it's very easy. Now if I do that same amount of pressure with these, it's not giving as much, like at all. It's moving slightly, very slightly. And even then I may have even broken them in already to do that, because I've been practicing in these. But then you go on your tippy toes, you see it's hard. You really have to push a lot more, like a lot more. So these weren't made for dancing. I'm not gonna like be like, oh god, you know, they're made for walking, they're made for fashion. And I do find with some of my designer shoes that even just things as simple as walking, you have to completely relearn how to do it. You know, for fashion shoes, because they're made first and foremost to look good, you know, not to be comfortable or not to be like walking shoes. They're made to be pieces of art on your feet. So I understand that completely. And I take that same sort of concept, I bring it to dance. You just have to learn how to walk again in these shoes, like figuratively. Walking, actual walking, quite easy, comfortable actually. Dancing, definitely a little harder, have to relearn some things. I got these in a size 42. A lot of people say that Balenciaga shoes run big, but in my experience with speed runners, with the runner shoe, with track shoes, with the triple S's, and now with the Phantoms, I wear a size 42 across all of them, and that is my true to size. So I think that's get them in true to size. All in all, I'm not like mad at this purchase. I think it was a little bit underwhelming at first and definitely disappointing to find out that the sole was plastic, but it's a good neutral shoe that I actually don't really have in my collection. So I can pair it with a lot of like louder outfits that call for a more toned down shoe and not feel like a total clown when I'm like walking out the house. These are definitely one of the most quiet purchases that I have made, but I think everyone, you can't just keep buying loud because it gets so hard to like put it all together. So to have a little bit of quiet mixed in there, like no one is gonna know these are Balenciaga. One, because they're not branded like at all, and then two, because I mean they just sort of flopped. All right, and then the last thing that I have to show you guys, this is really exciting because it's sort of like a little tiny milestone in my like luxury collection journey. But if you guys remember a few months ago, I actually bought these shorts from Gucci. They are like a navy polyester, like mesh thing. They got the webbing on the side, GG's on the back, drawstring. They're like basketball shorts. They're quite long. I actually found they're not the exact matching jackets, but they're pretty damn close. Alright, so I got this jacket from, so this one I got from the Real. Again, really great price, but you can see it's sort of the matching blue color. It's got the red piping, red detail here. Same sort of like GG patch on the chest. Nothing really going on the back. So this jacket, I believe, came out in 2022. You can see the webbing between this jacket and the shorts is a bit different, but honestly close enough. And then the mesh is like also slightly different hue, but honestly still close enough. It's cuffed at the wrist, and then on the bottom there's like this fastening system where you can tie it up so that it like folds over, I guess. So it's got like this really nice like red detail down the front. I mean, it's a basic jacket, you know, you've got the zips here, the zippers, they say Gucci, the Gucci patch. Yeah, so I really like this jacket. The nylon is great for spinning. I spin so fast in this that sometimes it is scary compared to how I would normally spin in like a t-shirt or something, but you know, it's good. I actually did a little bit of a photo shoot with this outfit, and shout out to Yuban. He's an awesome kid, a great breaker, and I thank him so much for, you know, trusting my vision and letting me play with my clothes and my photography skills. But yeah, you can totally see this look is fire. He's modeling it exceptionally with the LV denim trainers, and yeah, I just really love this look. So this look I definitely want to bring out to a battle. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you liked these pieces. I hope you like seeing them. I'm really grateful to have them, and yeah, let me know what you think. You know, this is definitely, I feel like I've really been embracing pre-loved luxury, and I don't know if there's like a market for that, if people want to see that. I know a lot of people are very like into like the new and the now, but just from where I'm at on my journey and what I want to do with these clothes, I'm much more comfortable spinning around on a $300 jacket versus a $2,000 jacket, because if I see holes start to pop up in the $2,000 jacket, I will cry. So yeah, I know it's been quite a while, but let me know, you know, do you enjoy my videos? Do you want to see more videos? Because these are a lot of work, and I want to make sure that I'm really providing something meaningful to this community. So thank you guys for watching, and I will see you on the next video.